The movie begins with a voice explaining that some music is believed to be incredibly powerful. People say this kind of music can bring back spirits from the past, or even call on those from the future. But there's a warning too. This powerful music can also invite something dark and evil. The story then takes us to Clarksdale, Mississippi. In October 1932, a man named Sammy Moore is seen driving his car. He looks hurt, tired, and scared. There are scratch marks on his face, like he was attacked by something with claws. In his hand, he holds the broken neck of a guitar. Sammy arrives at a church and goes inside. His father, Jedediah, is a pastor there. When he sees Sammy, he is clearly worried and tries to help him. Jedediah begs his son to stop playing music, saying it is leading him down a sinful path. He tells Sammy to ask for forgiveness and turn his life around. But Sammy doesn't say anything. He just holds tightly onto the broken piece of his guitar, as if it means everything to him. The story goes back to one day earlier. Sammy Moore has two cousins, twin brothers named Elijah and Elias Moore. People call them Smoke and Stack. They are coming back home to Clarksdale, Mississippi, after spending some time in Chicago. While they were in Chicago, the twins stole money from dangerous gangsters. With that stolen money, they bought an old sawmill from a man named Hogwood. Their big idea is to turn the sawmill into a juke joint, a lively place with music, dancing, and drinks, where black people in the area can come and enjoy themselves. To get ready for the grand opening, Smoke goes into town looking for help. He finds some old friends named Grace and Bo Chow. He asks them to help make a sign for the juke joint and to gather other things they'll need for the opening night. While Smoke is in town, he sees two young men trying to steal alcohol from the back of his truck. He doesn't take it lightly. He pulls out a gun and shoots one of them in the butt and the other in the leg. He wants to show everyone that he's not someone to mess with. The people in town already know that the twins have a wild and dangerous reputation. At the same time, Stack is looking for people to help run the juke joint. He asks Sammy, who dreams of becoming a blues musician, to join them. Then Stack finds another old friend named Cornbread. Cornbread has been working hard in a cotton field like a laborer. Stack offers him a job as head of security, and Cornbread agrees to leave the plantation and work for them. Stack heads to the train station to find an older blues singer named Delta Slim. To get people excited and draw a crowd, they have Slim play some music right there at the station. His performance grabs attention, and people start gathering around to listen. Stack knows Slim likes to drink, so he convinces him to join their juke joint plans by offering him Irish beer, which they also plan to sell at the joint. Slim agrees to be part of the show. Not long after, a woman named Mary shows up. She's a childhood friend of Smoke and Stack. Mary is clearly upset. She tells them that her mother just passed away the day before, and she's hurt that the twins didn't send any message or flowers. Her mother had treated them like her own sons, and Mary feels they should have shown respect. Meanwhile, Sammy meets a woman named Pearline. Even though she is already married, Sammy flirts with her and invites her to come to the juke joint's opening night. At the same time, Smoke goes to visit his estranged wife, Annie. The two haven't been together in a while. Annie is known for practicing voodoo, a spiritual tradition. Years ago, they lost a child, which deeply affected their relationship and led to them being apart. Annie tells Smoke that her voodoo has been protecting him and his brother all this time. Despite their past pain, Smoke and Annie end up sleeping together. As the sun begins to set, a man named Remick, who is Irish, runs to the house of a racist couple named Bert and Joan. He looks desperate and scared. He begs them to let him stay inside their home, saying he needs protection from Injuns. To convince them, he offers them gold in exchange for shelter. The couple, who share his racist views, agree and let him in. A little later, a group of Native Americans from the Choctaw tribe come to the house. They try to warn Joan that Remick is a dangerous man, but Joan ignores their warning, tells them to leave, and goes back inside. To her horror, when she returns, she finds out the truth. Remick is actually a vampire. He has already bitten and turned Bert into a vampire too. Then, together, they bite Joan and turn her into one as well. Meanwhile, back in Clarksdale, the twin brothers finally open their juke joint. A big crowd shows up to celebrate the opening, but behind the scenes, the brothers are worried. They had to spend a lot of money just to get everything ready for this night, and now they need to earn it back. To help bring in more guests, Stack and Annie convince Smoke to let some people pay with scripts. They want to make it easier for more people to come in and enjoy the party. Mary also shows up. Even though there are rules about who can enter, the brothers let her in because she's like family to them. and she's part black on her mother's side, which fits the juke joint's purpose of being a place for the black community. Inside the juke joint, Stack asks Sammy to play some music for the crowd. Sammy picks up his guitar and gives a soulful, heartfelt performance. His music is so deep and emotional that it captures everyone's attention. They're completely drawn in by it. But Sammy's music does more than entertain. It has a strange and powerful effect. His playing is so magical that it actually brings spirits to life. Suddenly, the room seems to fill with black musicians from different times and cultures. They appear to join in the celebration, playing instruments and dancing as if time doesn't matter. The juke joint almost looks like it's on fire, not in a dangerous way, but in a spiritual, otherworldly way, as if the energy is too strong to contain. Even though it looks like it's burning, the people inside just keep dancing, caught up in the power of the music. This mysterious energy catches the attention of Remick and the vampire couple, Bert and Joan. They walk toward the juke joint, pretending to be traveling musicians who heard the music and want to join the fun. The trio even play a little music to fit in, but Smoke doesn't trust them. Something about them feels wrong. Even when they offer money to get inside, Smoke refuses to let them in. Mary, seeing that the juke joint could use more money, decides to talk to them herself. She listens to their music and is impressed at first, but then she notices something strange. Remick's eyes suddenly glow red, and he begins to drool like a wild animal. That's when Mary realizes they are not normal people. She quickly turns to walk away. At the same time, Cornbread, who had been doing security, goes outside to relieve himself. Slim takes over his post at the door. Outside, Bert and Joan try to trick Cornbread by teasing him and leading him away. Back inside, Sammy takes Pearline to a private room. They get intimate, and Sammy begins performing oral on her. Mary comes back inside the juke joint. At first, she tries to flirt with Smoke and get close to him, but then she changes her focus and shows more interest in Stack instead. Stack and Mary go off into a private room where they start having sex. Meanwhile, out in the main room, there's trouble. One of the customers uses loaded dice to cheat during a gambling game, and when he's caught, another man gets angry and slashes his face with a razor. Smoke steps in to deal with the situation and tries to calm things down. He tells Sammy to go get Stack to help handle the chaos, but Sammy is too embarrassed to interrupt because he knows Stack is in the middle of having with Mary. So, Smoke goes himself. When Smoke opens the door, he is shocked to see Mary biting Stack's neck. She's not just hurting him, she's feeding on him like a vampire. Smoke pulls out his guns and fires every bullet he has into Mary. She's hit, but somehow she doesn't die. Instead, she glares at him and angrily promises to come back and kill everyone. Then she runs off into the night. Smoke rushes to Stack and tries to save him, but it's too late. Stack dies from the vampire bite. Afterwards, Smoke and Delta Slim tell all the people at the juke joint to leave right away. When everyone else has left, Cornbread suddenly shows up again. He demands to be let inside, but something feels off. Annie senses that something is wrong with him. When Cornbread offers money to come in, Smoke reaches to take it, but then Cornbread tries to bite him. His face is now twisted, and it's clear he has turned into a vampire. Smoke quickly pulls out a gun and shoots Cornbread in the face. Cornbread runs away. Annie realizes the terrible truth. They are being attacked by vampires. Then, something terrifying happens. Stack, who had died earlier, comes back to life as a vampire. He bursts out of a closet and attacks. Annie grabs a jar of garlic juice and throws it on his face. The garlic burns him, and he screams before running out of the juke joint. Meanwhile, the vampires that were outside start turning the rest of the people who had been at the juke joint, including Bo, into vampires too. Outside the juke joint, things get worse. All the people who had been at the party and were bitten have now turned into vampires. Even Bo, one of Smoke's old friends, is now one of them. The group of vampires keeps growing and surrounds the juke joint. Remick soon arrives with the other main vampires, Mary, Stack, Bert, and Joan. He stands in front of the juke joint and reveals a dark secret. He tells them that Hogwood, the man who sold the sawmill to Smoke and Stack, is actually the Grand Dragon of the KKK, the top leader in the racist group. Hogwood had planned a trap. He was going to send a group of clan members, led by his nephew Bert, to kill the twins and everyone at the juke joint. Stack confirms this is true because as a vampire, He has seen Remek's memories, but Remek says he doesn't support the clan or their racist beliefs. Instead, he has a different plan. He wants Sammy because he believes Sammy's music is powerful enough to call back the spirits of his lost people. Remek sees Sammy's gift as something special and sacred. Remek offers the group a choice: become vampires and live forever. He says if they join him, they will never be hurt or treated unfairly again because of their race. But the group refuses his offer. Then Remek makes a threat. Since they said no, he hints that he might go after Lisa, Grace and Beau's teenage daughter, as revenge. The group prepares to fight back. They gather wooden stakes, guns, and garlic to use as weapons. Grace, angry and heartbroken, yells at the vampires, daring them to come inside for a final battle. The showdown begins. Grace charges at Beau, who is now a vampire. She drives a wooden stake into him, and the two of them are set on fire as they burn together. Slim, the old blues musician, cuts his arm to bleed and distract the vampires. He leads a large group of them away to protect the others. Pearline, sadly, is badly hurt and dies in front of Sammy, who is devastated. One by one, the group fights off the rest of the vampires. Most of them are staked or blown up during the battle. Annie, Smoke's wife, is bitten by a vampire during the chaos. Knowing she will soon turn, she begs Smoke to kill her before she becomes one of them. With great sadness, Smoke drives a stake through her heart. Stack and Mary, now fully vampires, witness Annie's death. For a brief moment, they seem to remember who they were as humans. Their vampire nature fades for a second, and they show real sadness and regret. Smoke and Stack end up fighting each other. Stack is now fully a vampire, and the two brothers battle it out as everything falls apart around them. Meanwhile, outside the juke joint, Sammy tries to run away from Remek, but Remek catches him and claws Sammy's face. In that intense moment, Sammy grabs the broken guitar that used to belong to his father, the pastor. The guitar has a silver piece on it, and Sammy slams it into Remek's head. Since silver can hurt vampires, it weakens Remek. Right then, Smoke arrives and drives a wooden stake through Remek's chest. Just as this happens, the sun rises. The sunlight hits Remek, and he bursts into flames. All the other vampires start burning up too, as the sunlight reaches them, finally ending the threat. Smoke knows that there's still one last danger. Hogwood and the clan are coming. He tells Sammy to run and save himself, while he stays behind to fight. Sammy takes off quickly, while Smoke gathers all his weapons and hides, ready for the final fight. When the clansmen arrive, Smoke jumps into action. He starts shooting them with a Tommy gun, and even throws a grenade, killing many of them. But during the fight, one of the clansmen manages to shoot Smoke in the stomach. Even though he's badly hurt, Smoke doesn't stop. He finishes off the rest of them with another blast. Finally, only Hogwood is left. He tries to save himself by offering Smoke a bag of money, but Smoke doesn't care about the money. He's had enough. He shoots Hogwood multiple times until he's dead. As Smoke lies there, dying from his wounds, he sees a beautiful and peaceful vision. He sees the spirit of Annie, his wife, and the spirit of their child. They've come to guide him in peace. In the end, Sammy returns to the church. His father begs him to give up music, believing it caused all this trouble. But Sammy refuses. He knows music is a part of who he is. He gets in his car, still holding his guitar, and drives north to start a new chapter of his life. As the movie credits roll, we see Sammy many years later, in the year 1992. He is now an old man, but still performing blues music. After finishing one of his shows, two familiar faces appear: Stack and Mary. Even though they are vampires, they greet Sammy kindly and with warmth. Stack tells him that Smoke didn't actually kill him all those years ago. Instead, Smoke let him live, but told him to stay far away from Sammy. Stack looks at Sammy and can tell that he doesn't have much time left. He's near the end of his life. Stack offers Sammy a choice. He can turn him into a vampire so he can live forever and keep making music. But Sammy gently says no. He explains that he has seen enough of the world. He's tired, and he's ready to die when it's his time. Sammy then picks up his guitar and plays one last song just for Stack and Mary. It's a farewell gift, full of memories and emotion. Before Stack and Mary leave, Sammy tells them something from deep in his heart. He says that he still has nightmares about that horrible night at the juke joint. But despite everything, the time before the sun went down, the music, the dancing, and the joy was the best day of his life. Stack agrees. He says that was the last day he saw his brother Smoke, the last time he saw the sun, and the last time he truly felt free. By this, the movie ends in here. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.